Hey, welcome back to Hiking for Health. CA stands for California. And so the apt thing that I'm going to be doing today is reviewing a book called The Best Coast Hikes. Not just coast hikes, but the best coast hikes of Northern California. This is by Marc J. Soares. It's a Sierra Club book, so published by the Sierra Club. And so, again, trying to keep my, especially book reviews, brief. I'll jump right into the meat of it. I have a bunch of books like this on my shelf as reference because I'm a Gen Xer, which means I'm kind of in between the everything's online millennials and everything's on a bookshelf. I kind of do both. So I do have a fair, decent collection of these on my bookshelf that I do like to reference and write notes and all that kind of fun stuff. But that's one of the things I want to talk about is almost for any of these kinds of books. The concept is a little bit, it's getting a little bit dated. It's not 100% dated, but it's getting there because a lot of this kind of stuff is now online and easily accessible. And I'll fully admit that most of the time when I'm planning a hike, I'm using online resources to research it and figure out where I want to go more than this. Sometimes though, I'll pull out my books, use them as a bit of a reference, and I mean, if nothing else, I can just kind of go through the table of contents and get an idea. Oh yeah, that trail. Let me see what it says now. Because the problem with this kind of format in a book is once it's published, things can change fast. And so you need other information. Like, for example, the last copyright date on this is 1998. Over 20 years, okay? So things can be different. As far as I know, there could be a newer edition. I don't think so, though. I mean, you can see this is fairly new. I've used it a little bit. So, onto the book itself, but that's just kind of the concept of it. Is kind of dated, having it as a reference manual, because it's available in other places now, that kind of information. The book itself isn't bad. I don't necessarily know how he can call it the best coast hikes, because it's kind of a matter of opinion, right? So I guess it's Marc J. Soares' opinion of what the best coast hikes are in Northern California. And I'm not going to say he didn't choose some bad ones. He's got some really good coastal hikes for Northern California in that book. Very nice. Well done. The maps in it are decent. It's a decent, good selection, but it's not like unique. There's no hike in there where it's like, oh, I've never even heard of that before. That's amazing. Almost every hike in there. Okay, that's kind of common knowledge. It's good. It's a good hike, but you know, nothing amazing. As far as, you know, that's an unusual one you don't usually see listed. So, you know, there could be other books on California hiking, California coast hiking, going to have the same trails in it, right? So nothing unique as far as that goes. The directions to the trailhead, how to get to these places, very well done in the book. They're pretty well detailed. You're not going to have any trouble doing that. The maps are not like topographical maps like most books in this kind of a reference format. They're very simple, just real basic. The trail starts here, you're going to see these things, and it ends here, or it's a loop, or things like that. That's not bad. You're not supposed to be using these books as your actual navigation for the trails. You're supposed to get a real map for it, or if you have an app for that kind of thing, a topographical thing, that's the better maps to use and stuff like that. So to tell you the truth, it's like I say, it's not a bad book, but because the whole concept of reference books for trails are kind of getting dated with our modern era, and the fact that, you know, it's decent, but nothing like really special or unique compared to other California trail books and stuff like that, I'm giving this one a 3 out of 5. So would I recommend it? Sure, if you're the type of person that just prefers the book to anything technological, this is a good one to have in your reference library. But if you're looking for something super unique, you're just not going to find in other hiking books that list out hikes in Northern California, especially on the coast. And this one gets a little extra because it's a special niche. It's specifically coast hikes, but a lot of reference books I have on Northern California hiking trails include the coastal region, and a lot of these trails are in those books too. So I have some of these trails in several books, and that's just how it goes when you're kind of doing that kind of thing. And so basically because of that, 3 out of 5 for Best Coast Hikes of Northern California by Marc J. Soares. So if you just like to collect those kind of reference manuals, this is one for you. It's on my shelf, so I'm one to talk. But if you're looking for something special, unique, this one might not fit the bill, so it's kind of up to you. 3 out of 5. And that's the review for this time.